Here we are. We did it. So there was some hesitation because I have never hit the go
Very
live
fair.
button. So
Yeah.
I was like taking the power to do that. Hi, everybody. We will let people kind of trickle in and join as they need to. But in the meantime, um, I am today in London, Ontario, which I'm miserable about, but we make it happen, we make it do. But I was also realizing that I'm not very practiced at um, giving land acknowledgements in London, Ontario. So this is actually a great opportunity for me to kind of get back into it and learn more about the city that I grew up in, which again, not a big fan of, but I'm not a big fan of the modern incarnation of it. Maybe in the past it used to be a much better place, as were so many places. So with that, I would like to ask you to join me in acknowledging the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenape, and Atawendaron, who cared for this, and any other nations who cared for this land, acknowledged and unacknowledged, recorded and unrecorded, past, present, and future. So, hi. Hi, Paige. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sipping my coffee, trying to wake up. I was supposed to this morning, but it is fully afternoon now.
I know. I mean, I'm fasting right now, so no coffee for me. But I
Oh no,
also
yeah.
went to bed at like 5, so this is also quite morning for me.
hmm
Uh, I'm feeling good today. The past couple of first 2 days of Ramadan were a little bit rough. I'm not gonna lie. And
hmm
yesterday I was kind of like off my rocker a little bit, and my mom was like, "You need to go sleep. What's going on with you?"
Fair.
But today I'm feeling good. So just to give you guys a quick intro about what we're doing here, also a quick intro about who we are. My name is Hannah, in case you don't know. I am one of the co-founders of BIPOC Publishing in Canada. And you are?
And I'm Paige. I'm one of the other co-founders. There are four of us in total, but we're the ones who are here to read today.
Um, and BIPOC Publishing in Canada, for those of you who might not know, is a nonprofit collective run and founded by book publishing workers who identify as Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. We've got people like editors, publicists, social media folks. I don't know what your official title is. I always forget.
Consumer engagement, which
Thank you.
just is a fancy way of saying I reach people.
Cool. I work in rights. I'm an agent. So folks like that who work behind the scenes to bring you books. And we are currently running a fundraiser to kind of sustain and continue running the programming that we do year round. We do various things from like social things to like professional development. We do a yearly mentorship program, which I'm going to mention right now because applications for the 2023 mentorship program are now open. We're starting with mentor applications. So if you are someone who's been in the industry for a bit and who wants to kind of help someone who's maybe new to the industry or starting, please visit our website for information about that. The applications are open until April 11th, I believe. Okay, so what are we doing here today? We have a read-a-thon as part of our fundraiser. And the Read-a-Thon fundraiser officially ends in a week. And so all of us are kind of trying to make sure that we hit our goals and finalize those things. So we thought it might be a nice way to kind of get together here online live and read together and hit those goals with a few reading sprints. I have a couple of books here to decide between. I think Paige, you said the same.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. So you want to go through? Give us your rundown. What are you choosing between?
Okay. So the first one I have here is. Ooh, come on, please focus. No.
It won't because of the blur.
Yeah, because of the blur. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
The Blood Print by Uzma Khan. She is a British-born Canadian author who lives in the U.S., I believe, is what the thing says on the back. And it's I've had it for a while. It's been published. It was published in what year was it? It's a long time, to be honest. 2017. Not that long ago. Although that does feel like it's 6 years ago. And it's I actually don't quite know a lot about what it is, but I think there's some it's a fantasy novel. There's some religious elements with about it. So I don't actually know what it's about. So we'll find out together if I decide to pick this one. And then the other book that I have, I do know a bit more about because it's the second book in a series. Or maybe I'll let you go first, actually, with your first book, and then I'll do. Yeah.
My first book, I'm currently about halfway through, I'd say, and it's mediocre. This is about how white men feel up, basically, in like North America specifically. And I've been enjoying it so far. I'm listening to an audiobook while I actually like read it physically as well, so I can highlight certain things. But it's been like I call it a fun read, just because it feels validating when you're reading it and you're like laughing at some of the points that she makes while you're reading it. So this one I probably am going to start with because I'm already like in it, so it's not as hard to get into.
I read that one when it first came out, I think in 2020, was it? I feel like. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because this is the paperback, which we bought when we were in Montreal together. So.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah. It's real. I really enjoyed it. It is very validating, as you say. I decided, actually, I should say that I decided to start a new book today because I was like, I don't really, I've been kind of going through a bit of a reading slump. So I'm getting out of it now slowly, I think. And so I was just like, I'm going to start fresh, a new book. So I haven't read either of these books. So the second book that I'm thinking about reading is, can you zoom in? Okay, there we go. Please focus, please. There we go. The Icosar Falcon by K.S. Veloso. This is the second book of the, what's this series called? Oh, God. The first book was The Wolf of Oranjaro. It is also another fantasy by a Canadian author, a Filipino-Canadian author. Her name is K.S. Veloso. It came out in 2019. I don't know when the first one came out, but around that time. And it was originally self-published, and then I think published by Orbit. And I read the first book, actually, I realized when I was preparing for this, I read the first book literally almost exactly 2 years ago in 2021, because I remember it was Ramadan when I was reading it. So I was reading that, and I loved it. It was so good. I was obsessed with it. I just thought, I don't know, she just was doing everything that I wanted from a sci-fi fantasy novel. But because I am me, I struggle with like, when I love something, I'm like, okay, I got to save it and savor it. So I haven't picked up, like, the trilogy's complete. All 3 books are out. And I'm just like, I need to savor it so that I don't run out of the book. So I haven't picked up the second one yet. So now I'm doing so. And I can tell you a bit about this book, which is a fantasy novel inspired by Filipino, like ancient Filipino like history. So there's like various kind of political things happening, and there used to be dragons. There's no longer dragons, but maybe there are dragons. We don't know. The last book is called Something Dragon, so I feel like the dragons are coming back. But right now, we don't think they're here. But yeah, I think I just love the messy politics, and also like the main character is like a mother, and like I think she's a young mother. She's like in her late 20s, I believe. But it's a character that you don't see often. And like, yeah, she's a lot of fun, and I love her, and I love just so many people in this book. There's one person I don't love who has something to do with like the title, so I'm a little bit.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my book too.
Cool. My second book is Sword of Kaigen. You can kind of see it here. It's really popular in like the fantasy spaces, and I'm reading it because I am part of a book club online as well, and we're reading it for our live show next week. So I was like, I need to get a head start. This is 24 hours on audiobook, and I've been putting it off because it is so long, and now I'm gonna have to listen to like 2 hours a day to finish it in time.
But you're actually, this is prep for you, because usually when you have a live show,
I know. Like, usually it's the day before, but I can't do it the day before. This time, I just wouldn't sleep until the live show, so I actually have to start.
Yeah, this one's a bit long. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I have it like on audio and via like my e-reader. I'll be reading along.
I've heard a lot about this one, and I think the main character in this one is also like a mom and her. Sorry, not to spoil it for you.
I know, but like literally, I don't know anything about this, so I'm just going in completely.
I'm pretty sure it's like a teenage son and his mom. And there's like some sort of, it's really, I remember. This is also on my list, so I'm excited to hear what you think of it.
Okay, nice.
I don't know if the people who are here with us today are some of our readers. So this is a chance for you to put in the comments what you're reading if you'd like to. No worries if you don't want to. But we'll give you a second to do that if you want. And
So we're going to be doing like a bunch of different sprints today, and we're going to start
Yes.
with shorter ones. We're going to start with 2 10-minute sprints, relatively back to back. We'll be checking in with each other after the first sprint to see how it goes.
Hmm.
Because we both have 2 different books, we're going to like try them both out. Like we can switch between them the entire time, but like if there's one that's screaming to us more, maybe that's the one we stick with to like really power
Yeah.
through. So we're using this as a test for these books to see.
This is going to be really great for me because I suck at starting things. I like starting books.
Fair.
I'm really bad
Especially
at it.
fantasy, like there's like the 100-page buy-in where you have to like
Yes.
figure out the world, but at least maybe with
Hmm.
the duology, like the one you've already like read the first book
Yeah.
for in the
Hmm.
series, that one you already have like the established.
That's true. I do. Yeah. So I think the trick here will be not to only read that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So I found out the name of the last book because it's on the copyright page. It's called The Dragon of Jinsayang, which could be a real dragon, but also the way
Or a
that this book
person. Yeah.
series, yeah, works, it could also be like a person. We'll see.
I
We'll
like that.
find out
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah,
get
we
to.
will. I mean, yeah, like we will find out today, but we will find out
No, we'll find
at
out
some
in
point.
5 years when I finally
Mhm,
pick up
mhm.
book three. I will say though, even though I'm really bad at reading the things that I like, I buy them. So I do have them.
Have them, yeah.
Yeah. So I've like shown my love that way. I just haven't actually picked them up and read them yet. Um, okay, so we could probably get started now. Should I put, do you have a, how do we, let me put my timer on actually.
Yeah. You put your timer on and I will
Mhm.
follow your.
Sounds good to me. One sec.
I'm gonna switch and see how
10 minute, we
this
said, right?
is. Yeah, 10 minutes to start. And I'm gonna be
Okay,
starting
cool.
with mediocre.
I'm gonna start with the blood print, I think, because it's new to me, like very new. So it'll be, yeah, it'll be good to start there. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay,
Ready?
I'm ready as well. Mhm.
Here we go. My phone says we're done.
That went so quickly. I didn't even
I know.
feel like 10 minutes ago.
I don't think it.
How many
Yeah, I mean it
pages did
was
you read?
officially 8, but there was a map, so I was exploring the map a bit. Because of course I was. Here, let me see
Of
if I
course,
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's like, yeah, and it's got like a second part, so I was like really exploring.
Oh my god.
I feel like maybe I'll continue with it. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see. I do want to get to the XR Falcon, but we do have time today. So,
we do
how
have
about you?
time.
How many pages did you read?
I read 11 pages, and this chapter is about the Great Migration. So, when all the Black people left the South to go to the
Yeah.
North, and how that impacted the economics of the area, and like the stereotypes that we have now about like the poor South, and like how they actually shot themselves in the foot by treating Black people so horribly.
Yeah.
And that's why they're currently suffering with everything that's happening. So, yeah, I'm going to finish this chapter at some point today. The chapters are pretty long in this. So, yeah, I have like another.
I remember that chapter. I remember.
Yeah, I have another 16 pages, I think, to go. So I can finish this in another longer reading sprint. Yeah.
Yep. Oh god. Okay. Should we get right back in it? I think I'm gonna, because I was like, I finished one chapter and then started another because they're pretty short. So maybe I'll finish the second chapter.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'm gonna switch over.
Okay.
To Sword of Kaigen, and we'll see if I enjoy that one.
There might be a map in that one too. So,
unfortunately, reading it on my iPad, so no maps for me.
I mean, sometimes they're there, but
true.
I don't remember actually if I think there was a map in the other one that I'm reading.
Oh, there is. There is. It's right there. You can see it.
A map. Yay. Okay. Are we ready?
We are ready.
All right. Here we go. time. I have like one page
Oh,
left
oh my god,
of this chapter.
dead. How
Yeah.
many did you get through?
The chapter or the pages?
Pages.
I'm only 8 more. I guess that's like my pace for this one. Um, which is weird because
Fair.
usually I read, I think, faster than that. But it is, as you said, a
Yeah,
fantasy novel. And I'm starting
it
it.
always
So,
takes a little bit longer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Although now I'm kind of like, I'm impressed because we're only 18 pages in, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to know what happens next. It helps that
Mm.
there's like a romance plot brewing, and I'm like, ooh,
Oh, love.
I want to know what
Yeah.
happens next. It's very much, you might like it because it's very much like, ooh, something happened between these two people in the past, and they're no longer
Mm,
together, and what's going on,
fair.
kind of thing. But also, like, it's super, like, I was right. It's like very, like, religious themed. Like, there's some sort of like religious oppression stuff going on. I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
not sure, but I'm pretty sure like it's kind of based on like the Taliban a little bit because there's like a group of people called the Talisman. And the way that at first I was like, oh, it's just because the names are similar. But as I'm reading, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, this is a lot more than that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Which makes
Yeah,
sense
yeah,
because I think I remember she herself, the author, is like really involved in like politics, and her husband, I think, is actually like some sort of like political correspondent, something like that. So I think
yeah.
that makes
Hmm.
sense. Um,
Okay.
yeah. How about you? How did you make out?
Yeah, again 11 pages, but I think it's because I'm
Mhm.
listening to audio, so it's like a very steady, it's not
Yeah.
like me
Mm,
reading it, so like I'm being told the story.
mm,
I'm enjoying it so far. I'm surprised that like
mhm,
already this far, and I'm like, okay, this is like it's not gonna be a like trudge to get through because like the
mhm.
writing is good. You were right about it being a mom and a son.
Yeah, I
So I've
remember.
met, but like there's is the dual perspective within the first
Mhm.
chapter. So I'm
Oh,
currently in the
wow.
mom's perspective, and yeah, it's like very like traditionally like it's a patriarchal society. Guys
Mhm,
are being raised to be warriors. Like she's had her like fourth son. That's all I know
mhm,
so far. That's it.
mhm.
So I think I'm for the next one because I have about 10. It says I have 10 minutes left of reading because you know how
Mm,
like Kindle just tells you how much you're reading.
yeah.
Um, I will probably finish this one with our next sprint and
Yeah.
then like switch back to
Yeah, I think I
whichever.
have 2 pages left, so I think I'll finish the chapter that I'm in as well and then switch to the other one.
Yeah.
Did we
Should
decide
we
how long we're doing?
yeah, should we increase it? Like maybe do a
Yeah.
15-minute and see how
Mhm.
that goes.
Yeah, I also am just gonna quickly check to see, because I was tweeting just before I got on, because of course I
Oh, yeah,
was.
yeah.
Um, as I often do, so I'm just gonna make sure that no one is asking anything.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, 15 minutes sounds good. I'm actually even okay to like double it if you want. Like, I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm done to yeah, let's do 20 then. Let's start
Yeah,
and do a 20-minute sprint.
because it
That way
goes a
I can
lot
finish
faster than
the chapters.
than I
It
thought
goes
it was
so
going to.
fast. I don't realize
Yeah,
how like little
yeah,
10
and
minutes of
it's
reading actually
2:40
is.
already. How the hell did that happen? Like,
I know.
oh,
Yeah, so we'll
okay.
like read to like 3 or whatever and
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense
check
to
in
me.
on. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Well,
I've started the clock now. Ta-da! It went ringing. Did it not? Is it not the right time for you?
Disconnected. So I didn't hear anything just now.
Amazing. Fantastic. That's good though. That means you're really into it. I did set it like I think at 19 minutes because it was like we said we want to stop at 3, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. Fair. Oh my god.
How did that go?
Good. I finished the chapter for Sword of Kaigen. So that was another 9 pages, and I think I just read 4 from Mediocre as well. Well, 7 actually. So yeah. We're making some progress. Sword of Kaigen. I feel like the vibes are they feel cozier right now because like fantasy is just like a nice little like you escape into something. So I'm like I really like the vibes of this one, but I do want to finish this chapter, so I'm going to finish this chapter and then probably just read Sword of Kaigen going forward.
Fair enough. Yeah. I need to figure out the number of pages because there was, and I really love this actually. So I finished the chapter, the 2 pages in the chapter for the blood print. And they wrapped that up. It got like really like things started happening in the last 2 pages. So like, I kind of was like, I kind of want to continue, but I put it down. And then when I started the Icaster Falcon, I love this. They did a summary of the book, of the first one, and I was like, thank you. Like,
more books need to do that. More books need to do that for
right. Like it was a couple of like 2 or 3 pages, I think, not even like maybe 2 pages, and because I have my settings for my iPad, I don't know how many pages it actually was. But it was great because I was like, I kind of knew the gist of what happened, but there were some things I forgot. And so I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Okay. And it was so good. And I was like, thank you so much. That is amazing. And yes, please, everybody do that because it was so helpful to just kind of be refreshed on what happens. And then I haven't finished, but I read 10 pages in the chapter that I'm in right now. It says 29 in the chapter. So yeah, it's good. I'm the vibes are not cozy here. The vibes are well, I mean, they're very me. Vibes are like all men suck, and why are we having to listen to it, basically? But like, it's interesting because those are not the vibes from the character. Those are my vibes because she's like Blade, because the main character is a first person POV, and she's like going on and on about how she failed and whatever. And I'm like, ma'am, all of these people that you're talking about are the worst. There's a weird sound that is happening every time I talk from my laptop, I think.
I can't hear it on my end, so it might just be
okay, maybe it's just me. All right. But yeah, no, so that's the vibe of this book. I have faith that we'll get to a good point, especially knowing the cover and the title of the next book. Like, I think we'll get to a point where Tally, the main character, also understands. No, it's all these men ain't shit. It's not you.
I feel like that must be the art that is planned.
I hope so. God, I would hope so. I have faith. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I think I will continue reading that for our next one. Although we'll see. Maybe I will also jump back to the blood print. But what I will say is like maybe this is the way for me to start reading books because it just takes so much of me to like actually start something new. Like with my eyes, I can do audio easily, like that's fine. But I struggle so much.
I'm the kind of person, I like as soon as I finish a book, like that sense of accomplishment you get, I immediately start another one because it like I write off the high of finishing the book to start the next one, and then like by the time I'm done like that initial, I'm like onto the book and I can continue.
No, that is not me. I'm so, I don't know. I also just need a few things going at the same time because I don't know. I just need to be like entertained in various ways. I don't literally like don't want a free minute in my brain, please. Yeah. Okay. What should we do for our next round? Should our next round be our last round also? I don't know.
I think we can fit more in. I think if we did another 20 minutes and then we check in and did the final was like half an hour, it'll rattle and
Sounds
crackle.
perfect to me.
Okay,
Okay,
let's do
let me
that.
set it up.
Yeah.
1 second. If my phone would cooperate. Okay, ready?
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Ta-da!
Hello.
Hi. I'm kind of like just
How did
getting
you
to a
do
good
this
part.
round?
Good. I
I
finished
know,
that one
same.
chapter. And I'm 7 pages into this new chapter. So I guess I read about like 30 pages. I don't know math.
Nice. Yeah, fair.
How about
Neither
you?
do I. I finished the chapter in mediocre, so I think I'm done with this one for the day. And I'm currently about halfway, I want to say, through a chapter in halfway through chapter 2 in sort of Kagan. And like they're slowly introducing the magic system now. So like the first chapter was very much just like these are the people you'll be following, and now this chapter is like, this is how the magic system works. Here's a info dump of the history of all the wars in this area through like a history lesson that the kid is in. So the world
Smart.
building started. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I actually, so the first book that I was reading didn't do that, like didn't give us like a history lesson, which I think I'm realizing I prefer to kind of just be dropped in and like pick up. I think we've had this conversation before. I feel like we have,
Yeah.
where I just want to find out as we're going. But I do understand sometimes it's important to kind of do a little bit of like a here's what's happening, like here's what this is, kind of thing. But so my chapter is like so I will say the one thing about these books is that we do spend most of the time in one character's head, and so sometimes it can get a little bit like, okay, like can we see some other people, because you're starting to like ruminate on the same thing over and over again. And that was starting to happen, but to the author's credit, like just when I was starting to be like, oh my god, like ma'am, like I don't have time to just sit here and listen to you complain about how stupid you are about these men. Something else happened, and so I was like, good. So that's kind of where we got to right now. Yeah, no, it's great. I also, the reason I love this series is because it is like the main character is like, royalty, as is the case with a lot of fantasy novels. But the part that I just started right now, like there's other characters around her who are always like, can you stop being so like in your own like tower of like living your life, your royal life, and worrying about your politics, and actually think about like the normal people in your life who have very different kind of standards of living, that kind of thing, which I really appreciate, because it's often like we don't really spend in these worlds, we don't really spend time outside of in like the politicky parts, or like who's like going to save the world and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, like there's other normal people too. So that's what I'm doing right now. So it's fun.
Yeah,
So
we have time for one more reading sprint.
mm-hmm.
Half an hour, which feels less like a sprint and more like a steady jog.
Yeah. I think I'll probably be able to finish this chapter here. It's 24 pages left.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll pick up the next one, the other one, for the rest, for whatever time remains after that, and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with sword. I have like 13 minutes left in this chapter, and then I'll get through probably half of another one.
Who does the audiobook for that? Because it's self-published, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's
narrated by
self-published.
Andrew Tell.
But like, who publishes it? The audio.
I don't know if that info is in the.
I'm gonna look it up. But we can start the reading sprint while I'm looking it up. Sword of Kagan.
It just says that it says like the author, she's the publisher.
Oh wow, so she did it herself. Wow. I'm impressed, because audiobooks are hard.
Yeah, and it's like a decent audiobook so far. I like the actor so far. So
nice. Yeah, she did do it herself. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm gonna look into this later. Okay, let me set up this thing for 30 minutes.
Set your timer.
Ready. Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Sorry?
We did it.
We did it. We did it indeed. And
How was your final sprint?
really good. I finished the chapter in the first book and finished 1.5 in this one. But like now I'm this has accomplished what I needed it to accomplish, which is that now I really want to know what happens next with both of them. So hopefully I'll finish. Yeah. I don't know how many pages I did though, like in total, so I'm gonna have to count.
Yeah, you do that. I finished another chapter in Surkagan, and it left on a little action moment where like you don't know the fleet of the character, so that'll be fun to like dive into. But I finished it like 2 minutes before the timer went off, so I already did my math because I was like, let me just starting another chapter and getting one page in. Let me just do the math right now.
What's your math?
I completed 87 pages during.
Wow, nice. Okay, so I've got 29 on the first book. Let me see in the ebook how many pages I did. 70. Oh no, that's not right because it does like the weird thing. So I actually don't know. Let me see. Can I just see how many pages? So I did 24 pages in the first chapter. And then, God, this is annoying. Okay, 29 pages actually in the first chapter. And then how many pages in the second chapter? 24. So 29 plus 24. Where is my
53?
53 plus the
53.
No, plus the others from this book. 28. So that is
81.
81. And I didn't count the summary because it's not like telling me. So I'm guessing it's about like 80, 90 pages maybe at most.
Nice.
I did spend some time in the second bit reading the back of the book. Finally.
Oh my God. The way you get distracted.
Well, because I was just like, okay. And also like the thing about this is why like I love fantasy based on things that I know, but sometimes I get distracted by words that are from like Arabic words especially, or like words that like sound vaguely Arabic. And sometimes in some fantasy novels, they like make up their own shit. And I'm like, but this is an actual word. So there's a glossary in the back of this. And so I kind of went back and it was good to see that, okay, I was right, like what I thought. Because sometimes like, diversity is great and I want everyone to be able to do whatever they want to do. But sometimes I just get distracted by like the made up words that are similar to words that I know but aren't the word. So it just distracts me a little bit. Sometimes I want to like confirm, like, am I right in thinking this or is it just a made up word? To be honest, I don't think it's actually usually books written by people from those cultures that make up the words. It's usually books written by people who are not.
Yeah, because they use it as like inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, but this is like means another thing entirely. So what are you doing? Yeah. All right, we did it.
We did.
So, oh God, I'm so bad at ending things. So, do you mind ending things, Paige?
I don't even know how to end it. Just be like,
No.
you can find us with I don't know what the links, like the bio is in our little description box, but if there's a link to the donation page.
Yeah, there's a link to the donation page in there. And I can put a link to our website just in case people want to find us there and our social media. So I'll do that after. But I'm pretty sure the donation page is linked already. And the fundraiser is going on for one more week, just under one more week. Yeah. I don't know if I'll get to 1,000 pages. I'm hopeful, but we'll see. Although maybe because I did like 80 pages today.
I need to see how many pages. I'm going to check right now to see how many.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too, actually. I'm going to go on my Raisley page and update it to see what happens when I add the 85 or whatever pages that I just did. When did I?
There we go. Dashboard. Where's my dashboard? Oh, I have to sign in. Wow. It's been that long since I've been on this page. I have.
No, never mind. That's just the goal. I was like, I think I just hit 1,000. No, that's just the goal.
Yeah. I'm at 1,268 pages because I haven't updated what I've read recently. I only update the pages when I finished a book and then I put the full
Mm.
amounts in. But I'm at 1,268 of 2,000. And between these two books, if I finish them, I will
Hmm.
100% reach that
Yeah.
goal because
I
the Sword of Kaigen is like 600 pages long.
Oh wow, yeah, and you have to read it by the
Yeah.
time of your live
And I
show, so
have
you
to
will
read it.
definitely be
So, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
nice. I did actually reach just now 1,000 pages, so
Nice. Good
yay! I
job.
knew I was at like 900 something, but I didn't know how
Yeah.
far. So I did just finish it. I also haven't added. I've been listening to the audiobook of The White Mosque by Sophia Samatar. And with the audiobooks, I always have to like I would finish it because then I tried doing the math with like minutes to
Yeah,
pages and I
no.
just can't. So
Yeah.
I just wait until I'm done and then I add it. So I think I'll be done that one too within the week because I think I only have like 2 hours left. So I should be done
Mhm.
that. And am I listening to anything else right now? I don't think so. I think I haven't started any of the other books I'm listening to.
Yeah, I have like a couple poetry collections like saved on my phone as audiobooks. So like if I'm a little bit
Mm,
underneath, I'll like be able to read one of those to push myself over the 2K, but
yeah. I have
I
things
haven't started
borrowed,
it.
but I haven't started reading them. I've got a
Fair.
massive, I thought I would read this one, Our Share of the Night by Mariana Enriquez, which is when I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
in person, it's like this big. It's like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's a novel, if it's short stories, because all her stuff so far that I've read from her is short stories. But I think this
Mm-hmm.
must be a novel because it's like chunky. Anyways, and
Yeah.
then I've got Zadie Smith, my first ever Zadie Smith, White Teeth, which I think is her first novel.
Nice. Yeah.
And then Constance Wu's memoir, Making a Scene, are
Nice.
on deck.
Okay.
I don't think I'll get to all of those, but one of these is going to be the next
Yeah.
thing I listen to on audio once I'm done the White Mosque. And
Cool.
that's all. So we did it.
Yeah.
Um,
We did it.
yeah. Okay. Well, I know you have an
We can
exciting
just
Saturday left
Oh
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
have
big
fun.
plans, big plans. No more reading.
Yeah. I am gonna go lay down for a bit and do some
Yeah.
religious reading, and
Nice,
probably
nice.
make some dinner soon with my mom. Okay,
Yeah,
nice hanging
sounds
out with
good.
you.
Nice hanging
Bye,
out with you.
everybody.